Hello everyone, Spring King. Today I'm bringing you my Umbral Horror number deck profile for you. So this is my favorite deck that I used back in the Zexal series, because Vector is my favorite character from that series, and I love his Umbral Horror deck and all the different number cards I use. And this is basically kind of a mixture deck between Umbral Horrors and my favorite number cards. So and the kind of number cards I go in here are for ranks 2, 4, and 6. So and there's also going to be some other archetype cards in here too that kind of help bring out these number cards. So it's not just going to be all Umbral Horror monsters, there's other archetypes here too to help out with bringing those number monsters out. So and in here there's 60 cards for the main deck, extra deck 15, and side deck 15. And I'm going to explain, this one I'll definitely explain, so this might be a bit of a longer deck profile, but I'll explain the choices because this is kind of not really a pure deck, because it is kind of a bit of a mixture, because Umbral Horrors are just like tachyons. They didn't make many cards. Like, there's some cards they did make, well, that were in the show, but we didn't get in the cards, so that's kind of why the decks are so small. And I did make a pure Umbral Horror deck, but didn't have as much variety as this deck does. Like, this deck has a lot of variety because there's so many different numbers, rather than just 3 65s, 3 C65s, 3 104s, and 3 C104s. It just more variety having 15 different numbers rather than just have only 4. So and this deck is a lot of fun. It's really OP, and it's really good. And I know there's also some cards in here that also help with slaying Xyz monsters too. So without further ado, let's get to the deck profile. And like I said, I'll be explaining each of the card choices. So so of course this is Umbral Horror. It's got to have 3 Umbral Horror Ghoul. So like I said, it can help go for the rank 4s. Got 3 Umbral Horror Unforms. Three Umbral Horror Will-O-the-Wisp. And then for last, the Umbral Horror monsters, 3 Umbral Horror Ghost. So that's it for the Umbral Horror monsters. And then now there are cards that are in here. So I have 2 Gaga Magicians. Gaga Magician is a good card for Xyz monsters because it can go between rank levels 1 through 8, so that can help bring out the rank 2s, the rank 4s, or the rank 6s I have. So that's why I got 2 of those in here. So it's a really good card, and that's why I use it in here. And because some of the Xyz monsters require them to be dark monsters, and of course Gaga Magician is a dark monster, so that's why there's going to be a lot of dark cards in here. But got 2 of those. That's a really good card for Xyz summoning. And there's gonna be a lot of these are also spellcasters too. So 2 Gaga Girls. Same reason, because they can copy Gaga Magicians a level. And so if you, let's say, want to go for the rank 6, you can play that up, make it level 6, then this copies it, becomes level 6, and there you go. Or level 4, there you go. Or level 2. So that's why I have that. I have 2 Gaga Child because, once again, same thing with Gaga Magician. If it's on the field, you can special summon this card, and then it becomes the same level as Gaga Magician. So it's like an instant, an instant rank 6 or rank 4 or rank 2. I have 1 Gaga Sister, and of course I do have some Gaga spell cards in the deck, so that's why I have that in there, so it can help search out those 2 cards. But mainly the reason I have there too is because it is a level 2, and it can also, this plus Gaga Magician, if you use this ability with Gaga Magician, they both become level 6, so it becomes the combined levels of the 2, so that go for an instant rank 6. So there's that. Or this plus another level 2 monster becomes an instant rank 4. So that just kind of combines all the 2 monsters that you're overlaying. And then I have 1 Gaga Head, because it's a level 6 monster. There's that option, so rank 6. And there's also the option that, its ability where you can bring back 2 Gaga monsters and it becomes level 4. So that can go for an instant, rank 4 monster that requires two or 3, materials to Xyz summon into it. So really good card, and that's why I got one of those in there. So that's it for the Gaga monsters. I have V Salamander because that's, of course, for the one of the cards in the extra deck there, the Utopia Ray V, so that's why I got that. And I got one Dark Zexal up in Chimera Clad, same thing for the Utopia Ray V, because that's my favorite Utopian. That's why I have these in here, because I actually do like the V series cards, except that's like the one they made, and this is the only Dark Zexal open they like. I actually like that idea. Just kind of wish they made more of that. So that's why I got those in there. Got one Maliseverus spoon, one Maliseverus fork, and one Maliseverus knife. So yeah, just basically help go through those rank 2s. So that's why I got those in there. I have one Blackwing Zephyros the Elite, because it's, you know, it's an easy special on level 4 monster, so again, go for those rank 4 monsters. I got one Secret Sect Druid Drew, which can help bring back a dark monster graveyard that has either 0 attack and or defense, so good for that. Go for those rank 4s. Summoner Monk, again another good card to go for those rank 4s. Discard a spell and get another level 4 monster to the field, so same thing. And Santh Kage Tokage, you know, level 4 monster. You just summon a level 4 monster, you can special summon Kage Tokage, and then another rank 4 monster. So, got that. And on to the level 2 monsters, I got 2 Kaliga Claw Crows, because, you know, each special summon monster, if you have a dark monster, you can special summon, and most cards in here are dark. So, got 2 of those in here. And for the last of the monsters, I have 2 Plague Spare Zombie. Again, it's another level 2 monster that can easily special summon. So I got 2 of them in there. So that's it for the monster. I believe that's 33 monsters. On the spell cards, I got 3 Rank at Magic Variance Force. Really good Rank at Magic card. It can also steal overlay units, but you know, I do have a lot of chaos numbers in here, so that's why I got 3 in here. So just for that purpose. And same with 3 Rank at Magic Quick Chaos, because you know, I have a bunch of chaos numbers, as you'll see when I get to the extra deck. So that's why I got 3 of those in here. And it's also good because it's quick play, so you can attack with your number monster, then overlay it into a chaos number and attack with that. So, and of course my favorite Rank Up Magic card, Rank Up Magic, the 7th one, because I am using number 104 and chaos number 104. So draw that card, instant 104. Really OP card, definitely recommend it. Especially really good in Tachyons. So yeah. And then I got Rank Up Magic Admiration of the Thousands. That's basically for the card you see in there, the chaos number 5. So I got that in there for that. Also, of course, there's other ways to bring it too, but it's basically in there for the Chaos Chimera Dragon. That's why I got that there. Dawn Thousand Throne. That's also a good card for numbers, which can also help our way to rank them up. So that's why I got that in there. Also help with gaining life points, because a lot of these cards I'm using Vector used in the show, and I just actually really like these cards because they're really cool. They actually help out with the numbered deck. I got one Gaga Win because, you know, special on a Gaga monster level 4. Simple as that. And same with the Gaga Academy Emergency Network. Again, special summon a Gaga from the deck. You know, go for those Xyz monsters right away. So that's why we got that in there. One Foolish Burial, because there's actually some monsters you want to put in the graveyard, like the Plague Spare Zombies or the Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. So that's why I have that in there. So, because there's some cards I do want in the graveyard. And then one Burial from a different dimension, because there is some cards that do vanish, like the Plague Spare Zombie, so you want to get those back to use again. And then I have 2 Gold Sarcophagus, basically search out whatever card I'm looking for the deck. So, and got 2 Corrupted Keys. This is also this is an Umbral Horror card, so that's why I got 2 in there. So got 2 of those cards in there. Got 2 Number Walls, because this is probably my favorite trap card in the deck besides that card. Really OP card for numbers, protects them from being destroyed by battle unless it's a number monsters. You got 2 monsters in your hand, you can just add them as overlay units. So there you go. Because that's the thing that the Xyz monster just help give them more units to use for more effects. I have the one Spirit Bearing here because the Umbral Horror on forms or whatever it is, when you have to actually attack an opponent's monster and have them destroy themselves, which could cause a lot of damage because they have 0 attack points. So at least this prevents you from taking the damage, because that's a lot of damage if you're ramming it into a monster with, like, let's say 1800 attack points. So at least that prevents you from taking any damage. I got 1 Zone of the Spirit because that's an instant level 4 dark monster. So again, for Xyz summoning, that's why I got that in there. 2 Call to Hunteds to, of course, bring back the monsters for more Xyz summoning. And then the last 2 cards are 2 Jar of Avarice, of course, for recycling. So that's it for the main deck. On the extra deck, so I got number C5 or Chaos number 5 Chaos Chimera Dragon. So I got one of those in there. Actually, that's one of the cards Vector used, so I really like that card. Number 25 Force Focus. I know this is kind of a random card, but I actually really like this card when I was using the show. It just looks so awesome though, and just, yeah, the powers that was just amazing. So I just really love this card. So that's why I got that in there, because that's one of my favorite number monsters. Because like I said, all the cards in here are my favorite number monsters I basically put in here. So there's kind of, looks kind of different, but these are all my favorite number monsters. Number 39 Utopia. And the reason I have Utopia there is, of course, for number C39 Utopia Ray V, because this is my favorite Utopia form. So I've got to, of course, have that in there in order to bring up that. Number 43 Manipulator of Souls, number one of the cards Vector used. And of course, Chaos number 43 High Manipulator of Chaos, number one he used. And then, of course, Vector's Mathiri number 65 Jin Buster. And of course, Chaos number 65 King Overfiend. And then number 65 Master Key Beal, another card to use, so it's my favorite one. And number 69 Heraldry Crest, again, it kind of seems a bit random, but yeah, I really love this card because it's standing for anger and hatred in the show. And this card's just awesome. I just love it because it's good at, you know, stopping those Z monsters. And then, of course, same with Chaos number 69 Heraldry Crest of Horror, so that's another card I love. And then, of course, number 96 Dark Mist. This card is just awesome. Probably one of my favorite numbers. And same with, you know, number C96 Dark Storm. And as for my favorite numbers, number 104 Masquerade, which is Vector's key card. And then Chaos number 104 Umbral Horror Masquerade, which is probably my favorite one. So, yeah, that's it for the extra deck. Now on the side deck. So I got the second Melisever spoon, fork, and knife. So, of course, got the second one of those ones. Got the second Secret Druid Drew, the second Summoner Monk. Mystic Tomato, this card also does work in this deck too, because they're dark monsters, and there's some that have less than 15 attack points, so this does work in the deck. And same Magical Undertaker, level 2 dark monster, you can special on level 4 lower spellcaster. Good card. And I know this card wasn't used in the anime, but I actually do love this card because it's basically a dark Utopia, and that just looks really sweet. So that's why I got that in there. The second Burial from a Different Dimension, Dark Eruption, because there are dark monsters in there. Same with Recurring Nightmare, there are some dark monsters in there. The third Corrupted Keys, the third Number Wall, the third Number Overlays Boost, and a second Zoma the Spirit. So yeah, that's it for the extra deck, and that's it for this deck profile. I know it's a little bit of a longer video because, you know, kind of a bit of a, not exactly pure deck, it's kind of a bit of a mix between Umbral Horrors and Numbers, with some few little other archetype cards that kind of help bring out those Z monsters. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this deck profile. Like I said, this deck's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of variety and can be very OP. And yeah, I just love this, especially all the different number cards that were used in the anime, and, you know, the Umbral Horrors cards that Vector used. So yeah, that's it for this deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for the next one. This is Supreme King, signing off. Get your game on.